Hi guys, this is Dr. Bijal Sheth on a motivated Monday morning with yet another story. So today, before I start, thank you so much for your likes, shares, subscriptions and comments, and continue to do so. Please, we are all together on a mission to make a difference, and we will make a big difference someday. Right now we are making very small difference. We would just need to reach out to many people. That's it. Okay, so my today's story is, I'm pretty happy about today's story. I don't know, somewhere I feel very connected to this story, so I'm using the same word from the story. The story is, the title is, what's the difference between a contact and a connection? There was a monk from Ramakrishna Mission, and a journalist from New York was scheduled to interview him, and he landed up at that place, and he bowed to Swamiji. All the greetings ke baad, he said, Swamiji, I want to ask you a question. In your last lecture, I heard you explaining the difference between contact and connection, but I'm so sorry, I didn't understand at all. Will you please be able to help me understand what it is? Swamiji calmly looked at him and he said, what's your name, my dear? So he said, Robert. He said, okay, where do you live, Robert? New York. Okay, how many people in your family? So Robert said, why is he interested in this? But anyways, he's a monk, I should respect him. So he said, 5. He said, who all? By then this guy started getting a little jittery, but he said, still, my 2 sisters, their husbands, and my father and me. Okay, and where all do they live? So this is getting like really too much. Still he replied. He said, they all live in different vicinities. So one of my sister lives about 2 hours away from my house, and other one lives further down 1 hour, and my father lives in the just 2 blocks away, in the same community where I live. Really close. I think fantastic. When was the last you spoke with your father? He says, what the hell? I mean, by then he thought monk was getting personal, and he thought he literally felt that monk is interviewing him instead of he would be interviewing him. He says, I speak to him almost every day. Whenever he is short of groceries, I get it for him, this, that, all of that. He said, very transactional. He says, no, when did you sit beside him with a cup of tea or coffee in your hand, held his hand, forget holding the hand, simply sat beside him and listen to whatever he had to say? Anything non-transactional, get me food, get me grocery, not that, otherwise. He says, I don't remember. By then he started mellowing down. He was wondering that what is he getting at. And he says, okay, how close are you to say? Oh, very close, I'm very close to my sisters. Great. When was the last you spoke with them? He literally remembered. I think this is the month of October. February, I called her up to wish her on her birthday. February, one of the sisters. Okay, what about the second sister? I don't remember. I do speak often, but I'm not sure when. Then he says, when was the last time all of you met together? He said, 2 years back on Christmas. Very confidently he remembered. So Swamiji said, how many days? So he said, 3 days. In that 3 days, what all did you do? By then, this guy had like really lost it. He's saying, what the hell is he trying to get at? But he was somewhere sensing that, there is a gap. There is some kind of a gap between his so-called family bonding and the reality. So he said, we played games and we had our meals together and all of that. He's saying, I'm asking, when was the last time you sat just beside your father and spoke with him? He simply couldn't remember. By this, he completely realized. He's saying, it's so easy. So then monk didn't have to say anything. He on his own started scribbling, and he says, Swamiji, I have become your devotee totally. I have completely understood the difference between contact and connection. So my contacts, in my list of contacts, I would have 5 people to call as a family. I'm not even sure when did I speak with them last. So I have contacts, but I'm not necessarily connected with them. So if you look at your own phone book or your Facebook or your LinkedIn, how many we take so much pride in, I have 500 contacts, I have 5,000 contacts, I have 10,000 contacts. How many of you are you connected with? Forget those contacts, at least your friends and family. How many of you? I have 20, 30 friends and I have a big social life. Fantastic. How connected are you with your friends, or how connected are you with your family? Isn't it like really a food for thought? Guys, this is like a festive season, right from Dashera to Diwali to Christmas. This entire last 3 months we have been celebrating festivals, and obviously visiting each other and stuff like that. Just do give this a thought, that how are we doing something just for the sake of formality, or are we really feeling and doing really something out of love and out of the connection? So let's take a pledge before 2020 ends, that let's build our contacts into let's transform them into connection, especially the loved ones. I'm not saying do it for everyone, but loved ones, the ones that you really wish to. Happy watching, guys. Bye bye, see you next Monday.